Hello, my name is Darkwing Doll, and today is Monday Morning Rant. I'm going to rant about pretty much the suppression of technology. That's pretty much just a flat subject, right? But pretty much the suppression of technology and the suppression of knowledge. Um, I'm just tired of the government holding back all of this technology. Yet they're teasing us at the same time by presenting this technology in TV shows and movies ahead in advance. Okay, I'm going to bring this up and I'll give you some examples of what I mean by that. Like when I was a kid watching the Jetsons, I see people traveling on sidewalks that move, right? Yeah, you see the robot maid, right? And you see all kinds of futuristic stuff that they wanted to feel us to feel like was fantasy, and it was sheer imagination. It's because it's for children. It's a cartoon, so we're not supposed to take it seriously. Cut to the Flintstones. You got the Flintstones. You got Betty and Barney Rubble. You got um, Fred Flintstone, Wilma Flintstone, and their kids, right? Then, not too long after that series was going of the Flintstones, you get another character, and his name is Kazoo, and he's an alien from another planet, and calling them Dum Dum all the time. And he's flying around in this alien spacecraft, right? Now, years later, years and years later, on my personal journey here on Earth, spiritual journey, I saw a documentary about this couple named Betty and Barney Hill who were abducted by aliens. And this happened. This experience happened at the same time this Flintstones series was going. Same time. So, same time period. So, there's no coincidence in that. They're showing us this shit in bits and pieces. And that is really pisses me off. And the interesting thing, too, about that whole Betty and Barney Hill story, Betty was more than happy to share her experience with being abducted by aliens. She said it was a pleasant one, it wasn't horrific, but Barney didn't like it at all. So, and he didn't really want to talk about it. Betty Hill is still alive, but Barney Hill is not. He's dead. He's passed. But yeah, that's an example of them showing us things from the future, but showing children these things from the future. I've noticed that. I mean, because they figure adults aren't going to be watching the Flintstones unless they're watching it with their kid. And most people, a lot of parents were putting their kids in front of the TV and just turning it on to the cartoon, where the cartoons are, and then they can go off and do whatever they need to get done, without worrying about disturbing the kids. I mean, without worrying about having to entertain your children. You just have this box to entertain your children. So, I'm not here to judge anybody if you do that. If you let your children watch cartoons and all that, I'm not here to judge that. I'm just saying that this is what happened, and this is what happened to this world that we live in. Our technologies, all the technologies that are being presented to us now have been created eons ago. And the knowledge of that is buried and it's being dug up, and people are realizing that this government is deceitful, and they just want to keep on teasing you with these funny, fancy toys, technological toys, so they can keep you distracted from all the other atrocities that are really going on in this world. What's really real in this world? I mean, fuck. It's insane what they're doing. It is. It's totally insane, and I'm tired of it. When I was a kid, I noticed I was aware of a lot of this stuff. Not all of it, but I was aware of a lot of this stuff. I was. I mean, you look at Star Trek, and they got the flip phones. You know what I mean? You look at Star Trek: The Next Generation, and they had iPads. You know what I mean? Whatever you call those, notebooks or whatever. I don't have them. I don't have one. I have a cell phone, which does almost anything you could think of. It's ridiculous. Phones used to be something you use to talk to somebody, to communicate and talk to somebody through. Now nobody even really wants to talk to you on the phone. They just want to text you or send you messages. They don't want to talk to you. They just want to type in whatever it is they want to talk to you. And we've become really an antisocial society in that regard. And the powers that be, the government, they knew that this would happen. If they supply us with everything we need on one little device, then we have no need to be as social as we used to be. We have no need to go outside and really see what's going on in our community and see if there's any violence or crimes going on. I was outside when I wasn't outside. This is a few nights ago. I was going into my living room to close the blinds and the curtains, and I looked out, just happened to look outside, and it was dark in my living room. I didn't have the lights on, and I saw two young women. One of them was kind of had their hand out, was crouched down, had their hand out, the hands in a position where they're trying to lift someone up to go over the fence of someone's house. A house was right across the street from me, like there's jumping someone's fence, and I don't know for sure if they really live there, if they couldn't find their keys or whatever, and so that's why they did that. So whatever, but it just seemed really fucking suspicious. They had a flashlight. They were looking around, making sure nobody's looking, it felt like. So, I mean, some scary ass shit. But not really to me, though. I mean, if someone came and tried to do that to this house, it's ridiculous. They wouldn't get through the door, so saying that. But anyway, technology has been on this planet since its inception. That's how I feel intuitively. A lot of these things we feel like brand new are not. They just purposely, I feel like the government purposely kept us behind so that we won't, advance beyond our means and create things that can be more energy efficient. I mean, they really did a number on Tesla because of his wanting to help the people and not having us, we wouldn't be paying these high PG&E bills, these electric bills, these water bills. We wouldn't be paying these extremely high bills if we would listen to these geniuses of the past that lived on this planet and they're trying to help us. Tesla was number one on that list, trying to help the people. So they got rid of him, of course. They killed him off because that was not within their agenda. That's not what they wanted to see this world to turn into. They didn't want to see this world, this planet, to turn into a self-sufficient planet that's still beautiful, still produces fresh produce, greenery. There's bees, there's flowers, there's birds, there's squirrels, there's life here. Now it's just kind of like it's a poisoned landfill, lots of poisons and people that just don't care. And due to the technology and the usage of the technology, it pushes people further and further inside of themselves and not wanting to, connect with anyone at all. I'm not saying I'm an extremely social person because I'm not. I'm not an extremely social person, but I'm saying not wanting to connect at all with anybody, just wanting to be totally insulated and just on your device or whatever kind of thing you got going on. With these kind of technologies, they've created this narcissism, extreme narcissism as well. I'm not saying that the cell phone is an evil invention because it's not, and I'm not saying that these social networks are evil entities either. I think it is a way for people to connect with those that they couldn't ordinarily from all over the world, and people have met people through the internet and then have actually met them in real life. That's happened to me. and it's been pleasant interactions actually. So that's my complaint with the government, is that the suppression of the knowledge. They won't give us all of what's there. They just give us a little bit by bit. And we would have been able to we could handle the technology if we weren't conditioned not to handle the technology, if you know what I mean. What I mean by conditioned to handle the technology, I mean like we've been presented with so many things through commercial TV and Hollywood movies that we believe that this technology, in the past, we believe this technology is not possible. It's just in the realm of science fiction and fantasy. And as the years go on, we realize that a lot of these inventions, a lot of these technologies, have already been here for ages. You know, it's just sad that they do that they're doing that to us on this planet. But here's the thing, with the invention of the internet, you're able to do as much research as you can and take that little bit you get off the internet and go to a library or a bookstore and further your research on what's really going on in this world, as far as technology and other things that they're doing that seem very devious. So that's all I want to say today for my Monday morning rant. It does piss me off that there's so much suppression of information that can help people, technologies that are being held back that can definitely help people. And it's all in the name of greed. It's all in the name of control. It's all in the name of what the powers that be want to see happen with this world. And the way that you can combat that is by arming yourself with knowledge, doing as much research as you can. It's, like I said, it's more accessible now, the information, now more than ever. Because it's feeling like the age of information. There's lots of information all over the place on anything, anything, everything. Either you're getting it from a blog, you're getting it from a video where someone else has done a lot of research for you already, and they got a bunch of references on books that you can check out. So, so not everybody has to be completely in the dark anymore. Yep, that's good news about that, about the technology, about computers and how you can access so much information through them. It's just amazing. If you go to a library right now, it's hard to decipher which book should I check out for a specific topic. A lot of the videos I've watched, specifically metaphysical and videos discussing futuristic type of topics, they will have a reference of different books you can check out and find. And that is extremely helpful. So you're not going at it blind when you go to like a library or a bookstore. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's rant. Feel free to comment and let me know what you think about the suppression of technology here on this planet. And thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking, and thanks for sharing. And if you'd like to, you could go to my Patreon and become a patron on my Patreon, and I can do whatever topic you'd like and full research it all together, comprehensive, and just for being a patron on my Patreon. It's not a requirement to watch the videos on this channel, but if you'd like to, people have asked how they can support this channel. That's how you can do that, by going to my Patreon, becoming a patron. And you can find more information about that by just going there. And I'll leave the link in the description below. So thank you so much for joining me today for today's show. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, which I'll try to get those links in the description as well. So yeah, thanks for joining me today. I hope I gave you some food for thought, and that you go out and do your own research and see that indeed there's a lot of nefarious shit going on with the government that you really don't know about unless you're really looking for the answers. You only find the answers when you really want the answers. The truth is out there, and you got to be the one willing to go there to find the truth. So, brightest blessings to you all, and I will see you soon.